An excerpt from the letters of Lieutenant Samnael Evergrace, aide-de-camp to Commander Azar, born of Dragnor, leader of the Consonant Legion. Sister, I've started this letter over and over and over again, wasting paper and ink and time with words that are all too frivolous, too cloying, too desperate, searching for that perfect turn of phrase that will trick you into reading just a little bit more. Even though you told me long, long ago never to write to you ever again. An ask I fully intended to honor until we found out that the world was going to end. The call went out. The chosen rallied. The plains were filled with bodies and horses and swords. Everyone wanted to be there for the end, including us, the army that had started it all so long ago. The Consonant Legion, reborn, sworn to the old oaths, here to take down another bloody tyrant. For the amount of money they were paying us, we'd have agreed to kill God himself. The festival was a rager. I saw people singing songs like they'd invented the idea of music right there, whole cloth. I saw people celebrate like it was their last day alive. I saw the chosen, gathered like a living pantheon. Even in the shadow of the Omniculum, they thought, all of us thought, we were really going to do this. That we were going to win. We did not win. You've probably heard all manner of things about what followed. Who lived and who died. Who obeyed orders. Who didn't. Why the world that you know is so different than the world we were both born into. Sister, I have to write to you to tell you what really happened. So, we're picking up today the night after the final battle. We fought, we lost, and many of our numbers now serve the voice of the dead god. We knew the battle was lost when we abandoned the holdout across the river, the Omniculum of Zur, the fortress cathedral of the Eyes of Smoke. But not all of us who survived made it out. Our Legion commander, Azar, was captured as he held the retreat. Now he's being held inside the Omniculum. One of the last remaining chosen, Serikali, says that the Never are sending some special monster to turn the commander with his mind still intact, so that the Never will then know everything that he knows. Serikali herself will lead an attack on the front of the Omniculum to divert the Never's attention. There's a sewer system in the Omniculum that a small team might be able to sneak through while that happens. Our mission is to rescue the commander before he's turned. Or if that can't be done, eliminate him before it's too late.
Sweet. So this is the Eyes of Smoke base?
Right. So yeah, the Never are creeping all over this place. Soon, very soon, the Legion will have to retreat no matter what.
Sounds good.
Cool.
We're going to start down here on this stream that cascades past the Omniculum, right around the outer walls near the cathedral, where indeed there is a very smelly entrance to the sewer. Who are you? Tell us a little bit about who it is. Who is going in first, maybe? Let's say who is taking point.
Probably me.
Who are you?
So this is Lark the Reticent. She's a scout.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of the Mitzrayim, or the worshippers of the Lord of Song. Sometimes when you have a military contract, really it's just to get one person killed. Like, it might be to take over a city, but all you really need to do is take out the head of the guard, and then the rest will just topple over.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you have Lark the Reticent for. She goes in quietly, kills one person, and gets out. She has a shaved head and a thick cloak. I had a face claim, but I lost it. I'll find it later. And she's called the Reticent because she rarely ever speaks. Occasionally whistling, but often avoids music so that the Lord of Song cannot see her and her terrible actions.
Terrific.
And I'd like to see how tough this grade is. Can I just slip through? I'd like to scout this entrance.
Yeah, I think scout is right. So let's go ahead and roll scout. So you got 2 points in that. So that's 2d6 fortune roll.
That's a 6.
6. This thing was probably neglected before the Nevers showed up. You think one good tug ought to be able to pull this thing down. The trick of it is that pulling it down will probably make a big clank, and it's difficult to tell whether or not that's going to draw the attention of any nearby Never.
Okay. I think Lark turns to our Heavy and raises one finger for them to come closer.
Yep, Kayo will approach.
Tell us about Kayo.
Sure. This is Kayo, or Bildar Kayo. They're heavy. They are of the Tailos heritage, which are people who supposedly were just spoken into existence by a mountain that is a god, or at least according to them.
That's how I was born too.
Art imitates life, imitates art, imitates life. I'm not sure how many imitations are happening here, but yeah, so they mostly live up in mountains and kind of places on the edge, just as kind of lookouts and to let people know what's coming down the way. So Kayo has real dark brown skin, locks up in some kind of bun situation, wearing warm clothes, and is just kind of big. They'll come up quietly. If we're all familiar with each other at this point, Kayo actually would know that Lark doesn't really talk, right? So it's just
yeah.
How difficult will this be? Do I need to pull a lot? Is this going to be noisy? Well, is this going to be a lot of yes or no questions? Is this going to be difficult?
Yeah, I think with some quick yes or no questions, yes, it's going to be noisy. We have to lower the door slowly.
Do you do a big silent flex to determine how much strong is necessary?
I think it's more I put my hand flat and I lower it very slowly and point at the door.
Kayo's just kind of got it, walks up, gets ready, and then will try to do that quietly.
That sounds like it's probably wreck, right?
Oh boy, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wreck sure is a word for that.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah.
Could it? Is rig an option? Rig says disabling a trap. I don't know that this is really a trap, but it seems like it has a bit more finesse to it than just wreck.
The way you're
No, I guess I am trying to destroy it.
Yeah, the way you're going about it makes me think it's wreck. If you're interested in adding a degree of technical know-how, I'm interested in making it rig.
Is this like a hinge kind of door, or is it just a thing that needs to be lowered into?
I think it's a hinge. I think it's a hinge that's just stuck in place.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a go?
Yeah, because if Kayo was a builder, they might have an idea of how slowly to lower it so that the hinges don't creak as much, or they might go up to it and kick the hinges just to be all right, this should keep them from squeaking as much.
You could mark oil or something like that to toss on the hinges.
I also have a wrecking kit.
Oh, sick.
What do we have in a wrecking kit? Because I just imagine just like a box of grenades.
No, that's a different kit. Mallet and spikes, pry bar, axes, drills, vials of acid, and small charges. So, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds ideal.
Yeah, some acid on the hinge, pry bar on the... Yeah, you could use rig. I think this is risky standard.
I'll help.
Thank you. So that gives me an extra die?
It does, 2d6.
All right, 2d6. Crit, holy shit.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Perfect.
Sick.
We're done. He's rescued. Easy.
So, all right. So I have a clock here that's like getting inside, and it's 6 ticks, which is just full now. I'm pretty sure. It's just like you do it. You crack this thing open just so. I think maybe you even like time it so that there's like a bolt of thunder overhead just as you do the...
Or maybe time it so that like a noise over at the front gate is happening, and then it's like, okay, the loudest thing that this is going to have to require, like, okay, do it now. And then it's...
100%. You pop it open, you rest it gently on the ground, and you make your way through the sewers. You're inside the facility. There is sort of a floor grate, I think. It's directly up above your head. It's letting rainwater in. There's some moonlight shining in, as well as some eerie kind of red luminescence that you suspect might be coming from some of the Never. And it appears to be like out in the courtyard somewhere.
Okay.
You can see the great cathedral itself in front of you. A lot of this town is like pretty bog standard kind of medieval peasant town, but it's the sort of town that's grown up around a particular building of note, a building that has brought, at least up until now, a lot of prosperity and a lot of traffic to a place that might not have otherwise had it, the Omniculum of Zur. It's like a maybe 3-story high cathedral decorated with images of eyes and smoke with a really solid foundation. I think none of you would be surprised to consider that there was probably a significant underground area. So I'm gonna reset this 6-step clock to be finding the commander. Let's do one thing really quick though, because a little bit of time has passed. And so I'm going to roll to see how the commander is doing. I think in the show version of this, like we would get a cutaway of the commander, who is this Arcadian, who is like this horned humanoid, who has like officer's pants and boots, but has been stripped to the waist, who is bound to this chair, usually has an eye patch, but it's been like torn away. Face and horns both have like some recent like scorch marks. I think a lot of Morpheus in the first Matrix movie when he's captured, where he's sweaty, but it looks more like slime.
For sure.
Really just like struggling to stay conscious, much less like be defiant.
Yeah, breathing hard.
Absolutely. And then we get another cutaway, this time to the action at the front gates, being led by Serikali. The rest of the Legion that's here looks haggard. They look like they haven't slept in days. Serikali is radiant. She's thin but not spindly. She's old but not frail. She has her long white hair pulled back in a thick braid. Her dark skin is covered in this slate gray plate armor. She has this beautiful longsword. And she has this white flame dancing just in front of her forehead that moves with her head. And then covering her forehead and the top part of her face, she has this sheer face guard that's just a solid plate of steel. No obvious eye holes, just completely covering the top half of her face. And she is holding the line, carving her way through the Never that come pouring out of the fortress.
Good.
So, you are here, still in the sewers, looking up. And you can see the village, you can hear the battle, you can see the cathedral. What do you do?
I think that I might have been here before.
Is that so?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, hi. So I am Nabain Palisade. I'm a medic, he, him pronouns. I am the Chimorti. I'm a Chimorti. of the Chimorti heritage. The best way to understand the Chimorti is that they are basically like, sometimes Chimorti, I've written it both ways, but Chim is fun because it sounds like they're chimney sweeps. But they're basically a mix together of like a traveling circus or carnival, a merchant caravan, and then like a funeral procession. They've traditionally handled the funerals of the chosen and the gods, because sometimes those die and you need somebody there to take a look. And I am a part of the Legion and have been for a bit, but I think I've been part of the Legion for the least amount of time because I was brought on board primarily because we thought maybe a chosen would die in this big confrontation. What actually happened is, of course, that things were much worse than that, and many of the chosen got broken and now are against us. In terms of appearance, Chimorti have like they're chimeras in the name, so they have like a mix of animal features. Nabain specifically has sort of slightly droopy ears, like a droopy dog's ears, but just a little bit. Imagine like this is don't imagine this as his face, but like Dobby's ears almost. His face is much prettier than that disgusting little elf.
Love that classic paradox of don't imagine Dobby.
Yeah, please don't imagine Dobby.
Name 5 things that aren't Dobby. Go.
Quick. Oh, God. Pink elephant.
Dobby, fuck.
And the Chimorti and Nabain specifically are basically tend to dress in like long jackets. Nabain specifically has like Mediterranean features, curly, messy hair. Oh, and he has scales along his joints.
Cool.
And I'm the medic, and I'm also a Chimorti, so I've traveled a lot. And one of my sort of Chimorti traits is I can be well-traveled, which is once per location, I can add a dice to a thing. And what I'd like to do is basically reflect on a past time that I visited this cathedral in terms of trying to figure out the best place for them to be holding our commander.
Cool. I'm into that. What does that look like?
I mean, it makes sense. I don't think this is something I can mark, but it makes sense for us to have like a map of this place, probably.
Sure. Is that not a thing? I
don't think it's a thing. I mean, books and scrolls is a thing.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely a thing you could just mark.
I'm going to mark a books and a scrolls. So I think I've got out a nice, like, long scroll. Also, you mentioned thunder. Is it, like, raining?
It is, yeah.
Is it stormy? Is it a dark and stormy night?
It is a dark and stormy night, as a matter of fact.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think I have, like, like a, not laminated, but, like, that, like...
A black parasol.
Some kind of, like... Yeah, no, not that goth. I think I have like probably like a skinned map, like a map that's on skin, so it doesn't run or doesn't get damp.
Nature's laminate.
So I've rolled that out, and I'm sort of going over that and sort of muttering to myself. He has a slightly higher voice, and he's a little bit nervous all the time, and he's been definitely crying recently because he's very sad. And I'm sort of going over both the map and my own memory. To try to sort of pinpoint the best possible location for us to check first.
Outstanding.
I think that's a research.
I'm into research. Absolutely.
Okay, so I think I'm at 3 dice then with my well-traveled. I'm pretty good to roll that, so I think I'll go ahead and roll a...
I think you're in a controlled position thanks to your spectacular, sewer great shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, I really gotta thank Kayo for that. Incredible, great work.
Lark had the kit.
I mean, Lark, thank you as well, of course. That's a crit.
What the hell?
What's happened?
Good game.
Welcome to Band of Blades,
GG's.
the most deadly game in the face of the earth.
We'll never
so
crit
we
again
win,
in the whole
right?
campaign.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we've,
Yeah, we're
I'm
wasting
just like,
down.
well, that's all the
We-
sixes we'll ever get. Sick.
we've made it to Skydagger. It's over. Good job, everyone.
Everyone high fives.
We did it. We speed ran Band of Blades.
All
Yeah,
the
we did.
broken
Yeah.
are now on your side again, but they still look broken because they look cool. They're all high-fiving.
Yeah, we just we clipped through the wall here, and then we just got it. The credits have started.
Oh my god.
Well, you've got... Yeah, I mean, you tell me. Where is the most opportune place to have this guy hold up?
So I was raised Catholic.
Perfect.
And I don't know. Thank you. Not a thing that usually people compliment me on. And
Oh yeah, welcome to the podcast, the only pro-Catholic actual play.
Excuse you.
I'm about to quit my Catholic school job. Let's not talk about that.
So a thing that's true in like many Catholic churches, especially older ones, is that behind like the main altar, like there's like a big, open area, lots of pews, lots of places for people to sit. And there's an altar, and behind the altar, there's like a secret little room. And the secret little room is where they store, vestments and various, decorations, various like cloth to hang at various particular times of the year. And so I could imagine something like that, where beyond the sort of big open area, there's a smaller side area, which would have like basically a door leading in on one side and then maybe some windows on the other side.
100%. That room is called a sacristy because I was also raised Catholic.
Yeah, hell yeah. Great
absolutely.
Name.
And that is not only one of the most secure places, but it's also going to be the place that is like the easiest for them to have dragged him to in such short order.
Right.
So you have a pretty good suspicion that that's where it is.
Unfortunately, I've just made a situation where they put him in a very secure place. Since I got a crit, maybe what Nabain says is, well, actually, I think I remember. It was a tour we went on while I was here. I think I remember. There's actually a secondary entryway, a service sort of entryway that we can get to from beneath that room.
Yes, 100%. Cool.
So this is a room that's deep within the cathedral. It's not like connected to a window or anything like that.
I think there are windows.
Yeah, there's windows, but I think what we've described is there's going to be people watching the windows, or probably free and clear. But it sounds like is that there is a second sort of underground passage, maybe even connected to the sewers, that you might be able to find to get from one place to another.
Well, I think maybe our sniper was setting up an idea where they might come in here.
Yeah, I'm at least trying to figure out where I should position myself to be the most useful.
Is this the point where maybe some people station up outside and then some people try and infiltrate from below?
I'm into that.
Sure.
Could I?
This was, of course, always the plan.
Yeah. Sniper, tell us about you.
So I'm playing Aiofe Bloodgood, she, her. She's of the Oileander people from the islands in the south. These people follow the chosen Kashavan, who is the blooming, the chosen that creates and manipulates life. And as followers of Kashavan, all of them take on sort of plant-like traits. Some of them have, I don't know if any of them have like literal flowers growing out of their hair, but their colors and complexions of their skin and their hair usually is reminiscent of plants,
Cool.
to the very least. And Aiofe she's short but lithe, but like kind of buff, like the way you can be lithe and buff at the same time.
Swimmers.
And she is a sniper. And her complexion and hair is reminiscent of a Japanese maple. So her skin is sort of a purplish, brownish red, and she has like hair that looks like maple leaves.
Awesome.
And you'd see that she's covered in lots of very small scars. And these are scars that were given to her by branches and trees because she spends a lot of her life climbing trees to get into sniper positions. And she carries a massive wooden rifle that is like about the same size as her. And she wears a ghillie cloak. If you don't know about sniper stuff, a ghillie suit is usually like a mesh suit that you like glue or sew a bunch of like plant looking material to so that you can hide in natural terrains. And her cloak is basically a black mesh that every time she like travels to a new place, she will collect leaves and foliage from local plants to sew into the material. Also, she has really big glasses.
Awesome.
And she wants to climb this wall to get into a sniper position so she could try to see into the room if she needs to, and also shoot guns into the room if she needs to.
Do you, before you leave the sewer, do you make the pitch to anyone like, hey, I'm going to take up a position. Does anyone want to come with me? Et cetera, et cetera.
Well, she was probably with Nabain when Nabain was going over the maps to try to figure out like where the commander might be. So I think she probably pitches it then. Like, okay, well, I'll be on backup. I'm gonna scale the city wall and get into position to either shoot people that need to be shot to help my friends, or shoot the commander if I need to.
Yeah.
I think she says straight up,
Thumbs up.
cool. And she is a very deft climber, so let's see if she can scale the city wall.
Yeah, it sounds like you're headed out on your own.
So yeah, I mean, she's used to being in a solitary position.
Cool. So this is, if you're emerging out of the sewer, you're in the rain. You can see now that there's like here and there are never that are hover tumbling their way towards the front gate. You're back in a risky position.
Okay. In terms of stress and pushing yourself in this game, is the stress track the 6? Just the 6?
Yeah. One of the advances you can take is Hardened, which lets you mark 2 additional stress boxes. And you can take that twice to get the normal Blaze in the Dark level.
And it's one more than normal Blades in the Dark, but yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Every character, starts with 6.
Brutal. I don't think this is the place to push myself then. So I'm just going to roll the 2d6. Partial success, 4.
So you make it up the wall. I think you can see that there is a light on in the sacristy, and you can see that there's a couple of different figures in there. It's difficult to make them out, but there's what look like a couple of armed guards flanking some sort of hooded, robed figure who's standing in front of a chair. I think, however, that as you're moving into position, you wind up making a noise that you didn't intend. What noise do you think that is?
I think I slip and I lose control of one of my hands. I'm still gripping onto the wall, but I think that movement of my body causes the butt of my rifle to clang against the wall.
Gotcha. Somewhere, some never pauses for just a moment and then continues on their way. But I've created a alert clock and I have ticked it once. You can resist that.
Let's see. We're doing okay for now.
You're doing upsettingly well for right now.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it.
I've got to do something. I'm going to drop a broken in here or something. Just got to amp
Get
it up.
wrecked, Brendan.
As much as I want to show off how good I am at resisting things at the moment, I'm gonna hold off.
Surely there will be other things. Okay, so the rest of you, it sounded like we're going to try and find this underground passage into the sacristy from below.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Does this make sense as somebody leading this action?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
That would work.
I mean, we've got a scout, maybe? Our scout's probably good at sort of figuring out a good path.
You know where the secret passage is, so you lead the way.
All right, my very nervous boy will lead a maneuver, I'm going to guess?
Yeah.
All right, let's maneuver our way through some grates and sewers and some other fun underground passages.
Do you think he got dragged along to a lot of Eyes of Smoke masses when he was younger?
I mean, I'm not Eyes of Smoke.
I know.
Oh, I see.
I just wondering if he got dragged to one before, so you might be familiar with the layout of a cathedral.
I think that the commander just go everywhere and take part in every religious activity. Mm-hmm. So this is very much my normal mode is going to weird parts of a church that the public don't go to. Mm. I was just thinking, what if under the cathedral there's catacombs?
Yes.
Delightful.
Yeah. Just some nice, spider webs around, dark cavern. It's probably wetter in here, especially with it raining. All along the wall, there's probably oil lamps. Most of them are probably out at this point, and we have just people in the wall. Skulls occasionally, mostly deteriorated, but also just hey, here's a corpse,
Perfect.
Just some fun stuff.
There's a 4. I didn't fail yet.
Okay, yeah, that's not a failure. All 3 successes, but all mixed success.
Yeah, you managed to find exactly where it is that you're looking for. But you find 2 other things there as well. One is you hear a yelp, sort of a younger voice, sort of crying and kind of yelling. but also kind of straining, it sounds like, as though they're like carrying a load or something like that, saying like, get back, get away from me. And the other thing that you hear is the awful, awful absence of sound, the awful kind of vacuum of one of these corpses from the catacombs that has been infected by the Never, that you can see sort of shambling in midair, feet never quite touching the ground, towards whoever it is that's making this cry. What do you do?
I want to see who's making this noise.
Sure. Basically, you'll be able to see them, but it means placing yourself in a position where the Never will be able to see that you're here as well.
Okay.
Okay. So you step out, and you can see that there is a young Legion rookie clasping another Legion rookie who's in a bad way over one shoulder, and has a just sputtering, just absolutely on the verge of going out torch in the other hand, and is like backing up, eyes, just face covered with tears away from this creature.
Have we seen these creatures before?
Yeah. You know that this is one of the Never. Absolutely.
But any like specific Nether?
No, I think in a lot of ways, I think this is like, here's what the base unit type thing is. I think maybe some folks around the campfire call them shamblers. But you see often these things by the dozens or the hundreds on the battlefield.
Okay.
So they'll call them shambies.
I'm gonna use one of my black arrows and shoot it.
Tell me about your black arrow.
Lark carries a fine bow. With it, she has 3 black arrows. I guess they're probably painted black, but with like an orange feather so that they could be retrieved if possible.
Cool.
We haven't really discussed like what black shot looks like alchemically. Mm-hmm. In the base game, it dissolves into the flesh of the dead thing.
Yeah, I wonder if you have to do something like to the feather, almost like activate it or prime it.
I'm imagining like a magnetic liquid that turns into a solid.
I was sort of imagining like black shot is like a powder that you wet and then pack with hay, and then cover in like metal if it's a bullet. But for the arrow, it's probably like, you know how some arrows are hollow, I guess is kind of the wrong word. They're cut out in the middle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like it's packed into that cutout.
Like they've been cored.
Yeah.
Almost like part of me wants you to be able to like grab an arrow and like crush the capsule in order to activate it before you shoot it or something, right?
Sure. Well, maybe they're like wrapped in wax paper or something.
Yeah. And like destroying that separating barrier like allows the compounds to mix, which means like you've got 10 seconds to use it.
Yeah. So yeah, I see the two. I see the shambler, and it's almost like no thought. 3 quick cuts of the arrow coming out, the wax paper off. Mm-hmm. We don't even get a shot of the bow drawn. It's just the arrows already flying.
Nice.
Cool.
Black arrows give me potency. Fine weapon gives me another potency. So this is me at like tier 3 technically.
Uh-huh. This is risky great.
I think I want to put that to controlled standard.
Okay. That's 6.
Not that it matters.
Awesome.
Just rolling 6s all day, baby.
Apparently. Yeah, describe how it brings this thing to an end.
So we didn't even get a shot of the bow being drawn. It's just the arrows in the air, and we're following it, and it thunks into the shambler. Fire erupts from the arrow. engulfing it quietly, and it brightens the room up. Maybe we see something gross and awful in the corner, just the way catacombs are, and snuffs out as it falls to the ground.
Could the fire be black?
Yeah. That like purplish black?
Yeah, but even the purple is almost like more from the shot than from the creature. The creature is just like, it's as though there's gaps in reality.
Yeah, I was thinking like in terms of aesthetics with this, like the stars in the sky were like such a thing that was like feared and unsettling, but like a pure pitch blackness is kind of like against that a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What if there's actually like in the core of the flame, it almost looks like there's stars shining out that wink out.
That's sick.
Oh boy. Everything we do is terrifying.
Nabain's just gonna like run up to this rookie who's hurt.
Completely out cold. Looks like they took just like a massive cleave to their chest. The one that's awake is like, oh, please, you and is like trying to both lie him down and put him in your hands. Just doesn't quite know what to do.
I think Nabain, who again has had this like very nervous attitude, as soon as it's like doctor mode on, like he's not even confident. It's almost more robotic. Just like, this is the thing you do, and then this is the thing you do, and then this is the thing you do, right? And so he's just like, set him down carefully. I'll take a look. So I have a question here around doctor.
Hello.
So Doctor is an action that medics specialize and train in. Unlike most actions, it is not rolled, but its rating determines its uses per mission.
Yes.
While on a mission, you may spend Doctor uses to treat a fellow Legionnaire so they ignore all wound penalties for a scene. This person's definitely a fellow Legionnaire, right?
Absolutely.
But for a scene, would that be enough to get this person out of here?
I guess that depends on what you do with him.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spend the Doctor.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Because I don't have anything else here that's going to do enough. If he was at level 1 harm, we'd be solid, but we're past
No,
that.
he is
like.
at level 2.
Okay, so I'm going to Doctor to stabilize him. I'll spend one of my uses. I have 1 usage left. Everybody be aware. I mentioned that Nabain was primarily embedded in the Legion, or primarily joined the Legion in the case of a Chosen's death. And that means that Nabain historically is more accustomed to dealing with dead bodies than living ones, and preparing them for burial or cremation or sky burials. They can do any kind of funeral, really. But I think that having this person be unconscious means that Nabain can enter this mode of just like, okay, we're gonna just, we're gonna prettify the body, right? So what he does is he brings out an embalming oil or a liquid of some kind, which he then sort of cleans the wound, probably with like some spare cloth, and then spreads this oil on it. And so it's like a plasticine resin that's going to like hold the wound closed for now. But this kid isn't healed. Yeah. There's a question of what we do with the kid, though.
Yeah, I think the other kid is like, I knew it. I knew you'd come for us. I knew it. Shh. Yes. Sorry. And like salutes.
Which of us do we think has like the highest rank here?
Yeah, who's in charge?
So I don't think there's ranks anymore, but who's in charge? I guess I would choose that.
Yeah, I feel like Kayo just looks at Lark.
Well,
yeah, I think that's right.
Sure.
Yeah,
okay.
So mechanically, the marshal would just choose, hey, you're in charge of this mission.
Right.
Gavin happens to also be playing the marshal, so.
I guess I could just be in charge. That's fine.
Sure. I think that makes sense. You also know the most about the rules, so.
Yeah.
I think with this group of 3, it makes sense. Like if our sniper, I think if Aiofe was here, I would like say it's a toss up between the 2 of you, but definitely it feels like one of the 2 of you like technically has the highest rank in the Legion right now.
I do think Aoife's probably been in the Legion for a while.
Right.
Sure.
It seems like both of you 2 have.
Yeah.
Lark might have been raised for this role in some ways.
Same, actually.
So
We'll go ahead with Lark. Lark, what is your reaction to this new set of mission elements?
the kid is stable.
The kid is stable, yes.
I don't think he should be moved. Let us deal with the commander, and on the way back, we will take these two with us. That's my suggestion as the doctor, as the medic.
And we probably discussed earlier that like if never we're trying to get into the cathedral behind you, that I would probably try to take care of them.
I kind of doubt that we're going to be able to come back the exact way we came. With your doctor stuff, can you like make a, what are they called? The
Like a
this
gurney?
thing. Gurney.
That sounds like a rig, which I don't have. What size of kit are we talking about here? Because it feels like something where, we might be able to just have Kayo.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kayo do have rig, but also like they are just big and are like used to building things and carrying heavy shit anyway. So like they could just carry this wounded rookie from like place to place, and it's just like, okay, we need to fight a thing. I'm gonna put him down and fight a thing, and then we'll pick him back up and move. like,
Oh, that sounds terrible.
That sounds like a terrible
Yes,
escort
It's
mission in a
fine.
video
Just
game.
Keep rolling sixes. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, so
Both these kids are like both boys. It seems they seem like they could be 16 or 19. The one that's unconscious has red hair, and the one that is awake and still kind of crying is, but like crying in a cool, mean way of like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
Sure.
I'm gonna show I could do it. It has like white hair.
Anime rival tears.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'll kill this
you don't
king
look
myself.
pitiful at all.
love that for him.
So,
I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's update these clocks. So first of all,
Cool.
let's roll for the front gate as Serikali continues the assault. This is for the Never that are fighting there. They're doing awful.
that's 2 ones.
That's 2 ones. It's not great for them.
Oh no.
Serikali rolls 2 sixes.
Hell yes.
Serikali
That's my girl.
Serikali is like starting to think like maybe we should just take the Omniculum back. Maybe like and it's like at the same time like no, we're gonna stick to the plan. But also this is going well enough that maybe we just get in there. And then let's roll for the commander. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
One's
one.
good. You can see this is a big window. It's like a story tall. It's clearly meant to like let the light in and to let whatever members, practitioners are there to see up into the sky, up into the strange bodied corpse that makes up the sky of this world. But through this window, you can see that these 2 armored figures have given pride of place to this strange, skinny, robed, hooded figure. This thing that looks like it has its mouth is protruding from its hood in a strange way, but it has these long clawed hands that it rakes across the commander's face and horn very slowly, but leaving this awful black scar across his face. So you have discovered these 2 young rookies, one of whom is stable, but moving him might be a problem. The other one is full of vim and vigor. It is like, we've got to get out of here. We've got to rejoin the Legion. We've got to...
Again. Every time.
Sorry.
I think Nabain very quietly says, son, how did you even get here?
Looks confused. Like, well, we were part of the main force, and we fought until the Chosen gave the order to pull back, and we began to... Penthos got hurt, so I just carried him as far as I could go, and found a place here where it seemed like they couldn't find us. We've just been waiting.
So he is Penthos, and you are
Salutes again. Jemma.
Jemma. It's good to meet you, Jemma. We will get you out of here, but please stay calm.
He tries to stay calm with intense energy.
I think it might be time for Kayo to rig a 1-person carrying gurney.
A baby Bjorn.
Can this just be like a large Bjorn?
Baby Bjorn, baby Bjorn, baby Bjorn.
I don't know what a Bjorn is.
All right, a baby Bjorn is like a sling for carrying a baby. So I'm just making one of those, but for a larger person.
Okay.
That one person can carry Penthos.
It's you. You're the only big enough
so
person.
this is what Lark wants to happen. You make some sort of carrying device for Jemma to carry Penthos out of here.
Oh,
they're not.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not coming with us.
Okay, great. Yeah, because that was my next question. It's just like, okay, hang on, what are we doing with these two? Because
And I doubt that we're coming out the same way we get in.
Okay.
It feels like that's really risky to me.
to send them out or to
send them out on their own. I mean, this is something where we can probably represent it with rolls, but
Yeah.
We can tell them that there's a sniper on the tower.
I'm not entirely against it. What I think I would like is for the plan to be they go and meet up with Aiofe and just like hang out like at the bottom of the tower where she can easily watch them, and then when we meet up with Aiofe, we meet up with them again, and like we all go out together.
They would have to climb a tower, though.
No, they stay down.
But even then, that will put them like in the village where the Never are.
I'd rather them just leave.
The safest place you could probably stick them is underneath that grate where you first spotted the cathedral.
Okay, acceptable.
Of course, Aiofe has no idea about that. So
maybe what we can ask them to do is like, I'd be happy to spend a flashback for this of like have a signal of some sort for Aiofe to be on the lookout for, and for them to do the signal such that Aiofe knows to like watch the grate where they'll be under.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll spend the stress for that. That's just 2 stress for the flashback.
I think that's just a 1 stress flashback. That's not hard to have done, but it is specific.
Right. Okay. I'm fine with sending them on our way with that. Okay, so then we just need the rig.
I like to imagine that the hand signal you gave me is probably something that's super common in your culture that was utterly bewildering to her.
Yeah. I'm into that. It's like
a thumbs up or something like that. And she's like, what the fuck is that?
I think it's like a palms clasp, but like holding it way above your head. Like you're praying, but like holding it way up, straight up.
looks like you're about to dive.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is it like, are you supposed to be able to see it from the grate? Is that what we're saying?
I think the idea is like poke your hands out through the grate.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. In that case, we still need to rig this papoose and then get this child to go wear it.
Yep.
I believe in you.
I have 2 in rig. That's really good.
I think you need to mark something that you're building this out of.
There's a repair kit, but that is...
There are planks in the repair kit.
Yeah, I saw the repair kit. There's like planks and also rope and hammers and nails. Like that seems like it would work, but like...
I can mark you a repair kit.
Okay.
Cool.
Does the medic have a repair kit?
I sure do for some reason.
Sick.
Well, I think that Nabain just generally has like a big satchel, big backpack.
Great. Thank you for having... Why don't I have to... Okay. I think I'm okay with that. What's my position and effect?
I think this is risky standard, and the risk is more like you're doing this while the clock is running.
Yeah. Okay. But it's 3d6, so 5.
Nice.
5's good. You get the thing. But I'm going to tick... I'm going to tick the commander clock again.
I don't like that laugh. Oh dear.
Exactly. Devin just posted a screenshot of Beetle from Breath of the Wild
Perfect.
as Nabain, which is,
That's a normal load for a heavy. Or for a medic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Complete with the
want
flag with
medic
your
to
own
have a
face on it.
No. He's not that self-centered. It's probably like a flag with all of the chosen. He just has lots of little flags with all the different chosen.
Oh, boy.
Number 1 chosen fanboy, Nabain, watch out.
Who's going to tell Jemma that this is what the plan is?
Ooh.
I probably have some complicated hand signals and whistles.
Oh,
To instruct or to abdicate responsibility?
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what, Jemma is like, are you here to fight? I'll fight. I
think like, yeah, is Lark just like telling him, but also he's not understanding it because he doesn't know what the fuck he's saying? Because I could just see like Kayo watching that, like that not even conversation happening and just be like, okay, fine. And just like put a hand on Jemma's shoulder, right? And be like, all right, listen, you need to take, what was his name again?
Penthos?
Already forgotten. Penthos. You need to take Penthos, go, tell him like where the grate is. You go there, you do this sign, and you wait. And that is how you keep him safe, and that is how you two join back up with the Legion. Okay?
If you're saying that this is what they have to do because you're the boss, because you're a senior member of the Legion, and that's why he needs to do this, then that makes sense. Yeah, this could be discipline.
Yeah. Emphasize Lark, that Lark is in charge, and this is what Lark is saying, because clearly he doesn't get that. I will discipline.
This is risky great.
I'll help.
It's 5 again.
I think Jemma is like, I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry, Captain. I think instead of Sir, everyone just says Captain in the Legion.
Yeah.
And so like gives Lark like a meaningful salute and is like, sorry. And like extends his arms to like get the rig.
Yeah, Kayo will help him.
Yeah, you gently get Penthos in the rig. And Jemma goes over the instructions one more time and says, I'll be there. Thank you. And sets off through the catacombs.
I'm very invested in these children now.
I think the negative consequence here is I'm going to tick the never at the gate once, which means that maybe Serikali has not quite lost the plot just yet, but has maybe not quite has allowed herself to get distracted. Not enough to have things in danger just yet, but enough to make Serikali go, oh, right, okay, the mission.
Yeah, she hasn't done this in a few centuries.
Sure.
How big is that clock?
Both of these are 8-step.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, 5.
Yeah, so if the Serikali clock fills up first, so she's going to leave when either of these clocks fill up first. It's just a matter of the condition of her leaving. If it's if it's her clock, then it's a triumphant exit. If it's the never holding the gates, it means that they have overwhelmed the Legion force and they have to retreat.
Gotcha.
Is there anything we can do to impact?
I was going to ask about that
maybe not
in terms of my high ground position.
Yeah.
Sure, you could absolutely resist that. Never advance from where you're at.
But it said 3 of 8 right now, right?
Well, with that clock, it's 4 of 8.
Okay.
With that tick, it's 4 of 8.
Yeah. Okay. Could I resist by like taking a shot or something like that?
Absolutely. Let's do.
Would that just be a resist, or would that be a?
It would be a resist because it's a consequence that's being resisted.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be insight for like catching that out of the corner of my eye and making a smart move.
Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely.
Cool, because that gives me 4d6 rather than 2d6.
Absolutely it does.
Hell yeah.
Why did I crit on that? Fuck.
Oh, well, you should have pushed
That
yourself
was a
more.
wasted crit.
Unbelievable.
It's okay. We're clearly going to keep rolling like this the whole time. It'll be no problem
Just
at
for
all.
months on end. Yeah, tell me what you do that helps keep the status quo.
Okay, so they're trying to cross the bridge, right? Serikali's forces, or are they holding the Never out from crossing the bridge?
They are at the gates. They are trying to keep the Never like sealed up inside the city.
Gotcha. I think there's like one that slips through like the bottom of the gate that nobody notices, and it's about to like grab some rookie and like drag them down. And I see this out of the corner of my eye, and I make a quick shot.
Yeah, like there's a whole like 4 or 5 of them that are like trying to flank him.
Oh no, I know what it is. It's like a little hole in where the gate is, but I shoot it as it's crawling out, so it plugs the hole with its body.
Nice, very good.
Cool.
That's great.
And as she gets the shot off, she reaches for a branch that is like in her pocket. This is like a comfort branch. This is a custom of the Oileander people to carry like a stick from your homeland, basically. Lots of non-Oileander people think it's very strange, but her branch had like a bunch of flowers on it. And as she pulls it out to like kind of do her normal like comfort ritual with it, she sees the leaves on it like turn black and crumble, and then the stick crumbles. And I think this is an omen.
Oathsworn is an actual play podcast created by
Devin Nelson,
Gavin Fregeau,
Kris Allison.
Matthew Guzdial.
and me, Brendan McLeod. All music for the show is created by Devin Nelson. Find it and more at devindecibel.bandcamp.com. Find a link to their music and any of the games that we've played in the podcast description. Follow us at Oathsworn Pod on Twitter or Oathsworn on co-host. Until next time.